Hello, everybody. All right, so I guess if I'm doing this, let's do it.
Go ahead.
Grants, money. Some of you may be aware I've been doing a lot of testifying in front of various committees. One of which recently is interesting, which is the Connecticut Rec Trails Program, which Farmington unfortunately didn't get. I didn't get it into the weeds in the CROG meeting the other day, Bruce, but Farmington was right up there. I mean, if we had another 3 million, like we're proposing to do for this next year, this latest legislation is supposed to bump it up from 3 to 6 million. You probably would have got your funding, but it was that difficult to figure out how to do it. In fact, we gave Canton wanted 700 grand. We gave them 140, and that ranked only 3 points higher than Farmington, just to give you an idea how tough it was.
I hate to sound like this, but what was the project submitted? I don't think I was aware of
it. It was oh God, I don't even have it in front of me.
Aren't they gonna run a trail to the shops or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yep.
Yeah, silly project if you ask me, but go ahead.
What was it for?
So essentially, it's the side path project on 44 through Canton down to the Simsbury line. So it's not just the shops. They got the money they got lots of money to build to the shops, but not to design it, which is bizarre. But LOTSIP doesn't give you design money; it only gives you construction money. So we gave them the design money to design that piece, and also the piece down past the dealerships, down the hill to the Simsbury border for a side path going there. And again, you know, there's this whole ranking procedure for those projects. Now, I won't get into it, but it's useful to know that House Bill 5291, an act authorizing building for bikeways, greenways, recreational trails, does bump up that program to 6 million for fiscal year 23, which starts, as you know, July 1. So keep your fingers crossed that it gets on the bonding schedule. There is more ARPA guidance out in a brand new National Highway spreadsheet. Have you seen that yet, Bruce?
No, and I guess that's what I was going to ask you. You had said Farmington submitted a project. What was that project? Do you remember?
No,
I wasn't aware of it. Maybe it was something.
I'll get it to you.
Yeah. But yeah, so all I would say is that when we come out, I'm not sure who gets these emails for when these grants, the rec funds are available. But if you could let me know, that would be great.
I will.
That way I can kind of try to work through and read it. So,
well, you know, one of the reasons why I wanted to be to be on this board was because I am so hooked in with all this stuff that I can, in fact, tell you, you know, when these things get posted and give you the timelines and give you enough warning as possible for some of this stuff. Because I realize it's a pain in the ass.
Because I know we do have construction things that we can work out. We also have design things that if we can work into there. So all that funding would be great. Okay.
Yep. DOT announced the current round of community connectivity grants. It was about 15 million. Went to, I think, 17 projects across the state.
I saw that, yeah.
And we missed the deadline for that one too. Although I don't know if we qualified or not. Have we finished up
the
last one?
No, we had money that was put into the Route 4, not Route 4, the Route 10 sidewalks.
Route 10 sidewalks, yes.
Yeah. That's where that money went.
Okay. Let me see. And then NHWA did announce I think 2 days ago that the Connecticut TA program, so that's Transportation Enhancement Act federal program, 80%, 20% matching, which we've used a lot for trails in Farmington, was bumped up from 9.8 million to 14.6 million. So that's brand new number as of this last Transportation Act.
Okay.
It's about a 60% bump up in that program, which is nothing but good. Although it's still, you know, in the scheme of things in transportation, it's still a tiny amount of money. I think that's all that's new on that.
All right. And the applications for the TA, are those out yet, or that's just an initial announcement?
That's the initial announcement. I don't think they've actually given the dates yet. I think that's
Okay.
up to DOT. Because what they do, almost all of that program, it goes through the COGS and then gets put on the tip.
Yep.
So they probably won't even announce that for the 45 days or so is my guess.
Okay. Great.
The jug handle connection. I don't know, Rich, if you've been able to get in contact with anybody. I talked briefly with DOT a while ago now. I want to say a month ago, maybe even before the last meeting. But I don't have anything new on that.
I don't either. I don't know if, I don't really know who to reach out to, other than I could duplicate my effort to Mike D'Amico and see. I mean, it's been a while since I communicated with him, for whatever that's worth.
I was in communication with Mike on that bill that I was just talking about, and actually a couple of others too. He wanted to be involved. He's on in the Environment Committee. And it may make some sense to get back in touch with him, Rich. He seems to want to have things to do.
Okay, I'll reach out to him because, you know, with the price of gas going through the roof, this is a perfect project that would encourage people to use their bikes to get back and forth to work, especially everybody that works over, you know, at Yukon Jack. And we've had this conversation before, but so yeah, I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, good. And, you know, if he has any response, you know, CC me, you know, tell him that I'm working on this too, you know, kind of from the DOT end, but I haven't had a lot of traction yet on it. I'm maybe not getting in touch with the right person. I don't know. All right.
All right, we'll do.
So I just emailed you guys something I found when cleaning out my phone from a bicycle advisory committee meeting in 2017. And I could be reading it wrong, but it looked like there was something in there about, well, you'll see it, and Bruce, both Bruces will be able to see if that has to do with this. Provide pedestrian refuge islands at the median on Route 4 to show, yeah, at the,
Yeah, that
at
was
the entrance of 84.
Yeah, this was the project that we were talking about. They want to get the crossing. They want to, as part of the Route 4 study, they're looking to do a pedestrian type crossing at the jug handle to cross the connector / Route 4 to get over to like Prattling Pond.
Yeah.
And the thought behind that was because the blue trail kind of goes through there, and there's always a lot of people walking across. So we had piggybacked on that and said that's what we wanted to do with that intersection project, because with that crossing, that could help with a potential sidewalk, bikeway, bike path, something between Farmington Center and the jug handle. So that's kind of what those are the projects that we were kind of putting together.
I see, okay.
All right.
It's interesting. So Rob Aloise is in the same position that he was. Anna Bergeron is now the director of Bike Ped for Connecticut DOT. That's interesting. I know most of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about
for
that.
a while.
Yeah. November 6, 2017. Huh, okay. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that was if you guys remember, I know that Bruce, you weren't, and I know, I think it was Ron, I think that you were the only one here, or in the group here that was there at the time, but I had put up that, the slide from the report, because that was all done through Krog, and as part of that report, there's a slide showing the actual kind of a schematic of what that intersection could look like with the crosswalk and everything like that. So if and maybe, and you know what, and maybe it's time to just shoot that out to everybody again,
Yeah.
for those who didn't see it. All right, I'll send that out.
Yes, please. Yeah, please do. I need to put together a package on this. In fact, I'll include that memo.
Krog study plan. All right, Krog study plan. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, under DOT projects is basically, this is a perfect segue because it's exactly what we were just talking about. Do we need to find a little bit of consulting money to get some sort of a number for that crossing, or does DOT have in mind a number for that?
I think the crossing, I think it may actually be in that report, but I mean, they're probably in that $100,000 to $200,000 range. I'm assuming, because any kind of signal, any kind of full signal project, that's what you're looking at. You're probably more in the high, in the 200 figure.
Yeah, well, I know because we just spec'd one somewhere. Where was it? Cheshire? No, it wasn't Cheshire. Someplace else. Anyway, just the electronics and mechanism, I think was 80 grand.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Signals are not cheap, you know?
Yeah, no.
So,
No. All right. And I bring that up because obviously there are certain programs that it would qualify for and certain ones that it wouldn't.
Mhm.
But if DOT decides to take it on, then they've got multiple pots of money to use.
Yeah.
Which I think would be different than the side path that we're trying to figure out as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
That could be any one of a number of things. Obviously, you know, ideally, if that piece of Route 4 was going to be resurfaced anytime soon, which I don't think it is, but ideally, that's when, you know, you ask them, DOT, to look at some sort of a road diet and figure out, you know, within the right of way, if there's enough of a shoulder to put a side path in. But to my knowledge, I don't think that we're anywhere near that right now.
no,
Which
I don't
is,
think so.
if that's the case, then we're looking at a modified width, you know, a wider width type of sidewalk.
Yeah, and like I said, I know unfortunately Matt doesn't like to hear me say that all the time, but I know the deal, that's gonna be a tough one because they have that non-access highway fence down there, and the DOT
I
is
know.
critical about never pulling those out. Carrier pulled theirs out along 84. The building that's right up against 84. They had pulled it out. They're far enough away from the highway that they made them go put a brand new fence all the way in there. So they have their regulations, and that's something they really fight a lot with. So this is going to be an uphill battle on that one. But definitely that is a we can work that in the interim while we're working on the other projects.
Yeah, it's the divided highway, you know, rigmarole that they've got. There's it's called something. I can't remember what it's called, but essentially, if it's a divided highway, then you have to have some sort of fencing. They will waive it. You know, they're starting construction on Terriffill 1, which is from Terriffill Center along 189 to the Bloomfield path that was built a couple years ago. That they issued a variance on because that's 189 there from the center is considered, even though it doesn't seem like it is, but it's considered to be a separated highway.
Yeah.
Because further along it is.
Mhm.
And they issued a variance that trail is right up against the road there.
Yeah.
So they'll do it.
Oh, yeah, it can
It
be, but
took-
it's nothing that personally myself, or I think us, some of us can do it. It takes moving up the chain, and pushing and getting the right people on your
Yeah.
side to make that happen. So,
Yeah, it also took like 3 or 4 years too,
so
if I recall. But it's doable. So,
Mhm.
all right. Anything else on DOT projects?
the only thing that I know that Matt had was requesting was the signalizing at the I think it was that signal that the bikes weren't being the bikers weren't being picked up on the loop detectors. I have a seminar.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it this week or next week? Something popped up that the feds are putting out, and it's a link to a seminar on bicycles, loop detectors, and intersections. So I signed up for that. So it'll be interesting to see what it says. So hopefully something good comes out of that.
Look at you hitting the bike safety seminars. I love it.
Well, it's
I
good.
think that's it. Yeah.
I mean, the technology constantly changes. So,
Yeah.
the intersection cameras are constantly changing in the software. That's
Mhm.
interesting too. I caught the tail end of something on that I think Rails to Trust Conservancy did, if I'm not mistaken. And that was interesting. It's a whole bunch of stuff I didn't know about that. All right. Let's see. 2.1. Get Board of Ed member on FBAC to develop school programs. But I know, Ron, you've been back and forth with some schools that are interested. Do you have an, or have you? What's the update?
Is this in regards to someone for this board?
Well, that's ostensibly what that ask is, yes. But it also has bike safety curriculum, bike to school, and all the other
Okay,
stuff.
so bike safety curriculum, I think we agreed was going to be on hold for a bunch of reasons. Bike to school. So I had sent out an email not too long ago. We met, Carolyn and I, vice chair for Bike Friendly Farmington. We met with Carolyn Fink at West District, my kid's old school, and she's very excited about it, but I won't even go into all the details. She is hoping we can do a bike event on a Saturday. There's a lot of hoops to jump through first. I'm dealing with Farmington PD first, and then we have to find out if the school insurance will cover or whatever. So that's a possibility. She thinks she'll get a much more attendance. She has kids coming in from Hartford that she can have come in on a bus and more easily attend. Just a whole bunch of reasons she thought a Saturday would be. I just hope it doesn't set a precedence for any of the other schools, precedent. But so we may end up having it on the 14th of May. Lots of details to iron out. And as far as, go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking, I mean, it is after all a bike to school program. What possesses her to think that Saturday would be better than a weekday?
Okay, so she knows her parents very well and her PTO. She said that almost every parent is a working parent, and she if she offers a program, she wants to make sure as many kids can be included as possible, have a chance to participate. And she doesn't think that that would be the case on a school morning. She said on a Saturday, they'd be able to have a party, her PTO, her teachers would show up. It was a last minute little twist that she threw in there, which I had every reason to say no until I just stepped back and thought about it a little bit, discussed it with CJ yesterday, and I don't know, we'll see.
Okay.
I still don't know if it's a great idea or not, but let's just see where it goes. I'm meeting with her again next week, but it's going to come down to if FPD is able to support us on a weekend morning. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
It wouldn't be bike to school. It would just be like ride with your teachers or something like that.
Yeah, which is okay. I mean, it's a start. It's just that it's not
I
it's
know.
not that program. That's the problem, you know?
It's not that program, and I suspect that's what the text from Laura, who does this in Simsbury, could be about. So I'll be talking to her to get her feelings.
Oh, I think that's exactly what it was about. Yes. That's what I gleaned out of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's tough. It's tough to say, I mean, that was my Matthew's grade school teacher, his favorite teacher. It's like, it's just tough. It's tough when you have a history with, and they're just trying to do the best for their parents and their kids, trying to get them all involved. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And did any other schools bite?
West Woods, but I in the email they would like to meet, and hopefully it'll be Zoom. They have like 3 days a week from 11 to 11:45. And we did that once with them. Farmington Police Department was great. They actually blocked off State Highway Route 6 for us, for the kids to cross. They had no problems. So hopefully we can do that again. Just not getting a lot of response from our volunteers. I need people to do these programs. So
Maybe it's,
Yeah.
and maybe if that's the problem, maybe I think, and again, listen, you guys do this all the time. I'm kind of new to these bike to schools, but what if you focused on one school, let's say, and once the other school saw how well it worked out or how great it was, maybe they'll want to bring that into their school,
So we did that with Union. We did that for 3 years in a row. And I still go into Stop and Shop sometimes and have a parent come up to me and just tell me how wonderful that event was for their child.
Yeah.
So Union event, it was great, 3 years in a row. So, if any of them needed to know any information, I think I wrote that in the email to all the schools to just get in touch with, there's Kyle over there, the gym teacher, Kyle Shaves. I forget the principal's name, but she's a cyclist. So we know how to run it. In fact, they practically ran it themselves the final year, which is where we'd like to get to.
How long has that been though? That's the last time.
It takes a lot. It's a lot.
No, I meant how long?
A lot of those in, and a lot of it becomes a problem for the parent to change their schedule, I guess.
How long was the last time they actually did a bike to school event though?
So how many years of we've been in this 2 years of COVID school-wise, right?
Okay, yeah,
So 2018 maybe was the last year, the
yeah.
spring of 2018.
I mean, that's part of
Yeah.
the problem. It's been a while, so maybe focus on one, and you probably got some newer principals in there that didn't see it happen over there. So maybe if they see what
Well,
happens, and
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
actually the same principle at Union. And like I said, West Woods and West District got back to me within an hour of that email.
Yeah.
So they're very excited.
I don't think it's maybe it's not worth your effort right now to push it on a school that's not getting back to you. I mean,
Oh,
let
I am
them
not
be
getting
the-
back to,
yeah,
no, there will be no
let
follow-up.
them, let them be the odd man out when there's pictures all over the Facebook page, and the school things have shown all these bike to school days, and and only like Union and the Westwoods are involved, or East Farms too, and they're like, hey, how come we're not doing that? So
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I used to be the biggest softie there was when I started this, but
yeah,
that was 2013. I've seen enough now. Now it's like, okay, don't get back to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yep, okay. Let's see. Farmington Police, we don't have anyone here today.
No,
Wayfinding signage, anything new,
Oh.
Bruce?
Wait a minute. If
Oh,
Jeff Glott is on chat, he's Farmington PD.
Oh, I didn't realize he was on chat. Okay,
I see him on chat, but it says I can't see him on camera.
oh, is he
he
not
logged in?
enabled?
oh, wait a minute, he may not be a panelist. Hold on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to kick you guys out. Sorry, using my iPad, you get very limited views here. At work, I'm able to see the all this open stuff here.
Been out there knocking on the door for all this time and
Yeah,
nobody let him
probably
in.
was. Let me in. Jeff, there he is. Which one? There's two of them, so let's find out which one is.
Glott.
Yeah, no, but I've got two. I've got two Jeff Glods in here.
He might be on the phone too.
Change role to panelist.
Bruce, go with the lowercase J. That's what he typed with first.
Oh, is that
Got
what it did?
multiple personalities.
Come on. Change role to panelist. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he quit on us. Said, "Hey, they're not listening to me."
He said yes,
First one,
first
then
one,
tried
then
phone.
tried phone. Yeah.
Yeah, first one, it's lowercase.
Okay. All right, let's go back to that one again. We're trying, Jeff, if you can hear us. Not getting anything. Is he still there on chat?
Yeah, he just replied at
No, he's-
1935. There we go.
You just came up.
Right there.
Come in. There he comes.
All right, I'm here.
Hey,
While we're doing that, I'm gonna go back to my sharing my.
Here, I was thinking it was me the whole time.
Oh, it was you.
Probably.
yeah, I think if you assume it's us, you're probably right.
Come on. Takes a while to think about it.
Ah, there he is.
I know I'm handsome.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, we back in business, guys?
We are.
All right.
All right.
Oh, that print's big enough for me to read now, too.
Yeah, I could take my reading glasses off.
Okay, well, let's see, I guess, Jeff, is there anything from the department that we should know about?
No, I don't really have anything to add. I'm just kind of feeling myself out with the second meeting as to what you guys are doing and trying to go. But I don't have anything to report at this point.
So,
Excellent.
so Jeff, I sent an email to Jamie,
Yep.
asking about a certain school, West District wanted to do a Saturday morning event, and I was just wondering if that's even possible before I
So-
went any further.
I can check with him, and what I'd say is he may not know, because sometimes these things get disjointed with who's on what and in charge of whatever. And what I'd say is CC me. So like if anybody's reaching out to the police department for, whether it's the chief or Sergeant Stone or whomever, if you can just copy me on it. And it's Glaude, Glaude, then the letter J at farmington-ct.org. And then that way I can follow up on it.
Oh, great.
I will
I'll
ask
send
him.
it to you.
I see him every morning, so.
Is that at
Okay.
farmingtonpd.org, Jeff?
Yes, it's farmington-ct for Connecticut.org. That's the PD email back end of the address.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Good, thank you, Jeff. I don't think we have anything else other than obviously we'd love for you to listen in just to, hopefully, know what we're trying to do. I don't know when you actually came into the conversation, but we did talk a little bit about some of the.
I was here from the
potential-
beginning, going in and out, so I pretty much caught everything.
Good, okay.
So Jeff, I kind of had a question I've always wanted to ask. At the 177 crosswalk, like, what's the likelihood of like a officer being there? And like, do you watch to see if cars like break the law and go through it? And if they did, do you ever stop anyone or?
Yeah, so there's a traffic officer assigned, and so basically for that kind of stuff, we go through him because he's started out as grant money. I'm not sure exactly where that sits right now, but he's the guy that basically either sits on those kind of complaints or coordinates to have a patrol officer sit on those kind of complaints. So
Okay.
Doug Frink is the guy. He's actually a Farmington resident too. That's currently assigned to that.
I see.
Yeah, I actually know him. Our kids played lacrosse together.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
It's a double-edged sword, Ron, at 177. There's a whole bunch of people that'll just shoot out in traffic, not having touched the button.
without a doubt, but, right. But.
It's an issue. I mean, it's
still.
an issue both ways. That's the problem.
No, it definitely is. It's one of my biggest, something I care about the most is what goes on at those crosswalks. But a lot of people don't realize that someone's in the crosswalk, lights are not flashing. It doesn't matter. It's the
Oh,
law
yeah.
of the crosswalk.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, and of course, it's apocryphal because it's just me being in my car from time to time or on my bike from time to time. It does seem to me like people are stopping more there than they were.
Good.
Maybe it's just me, but and it is. I've seen this across the state. When pedestrian activated flashers are put up, it takes a while. There's a serious lag time before people in the community, in particular, start realizing, oh, that's there. Maybe I should actually think about this.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if they
Right.
want, I mean, so what I was instructed when I first got assigned to this or asked to be on here was anything traffic related. They wanted to go through the traffic committee or however, whatever that's called that Doug sits on. So that stuff, I mean, again, you could CC me on it and he's the next office next to me. So, you know, I'll follow up on it, but officially what they want you guys to do is to kind of go through him and then I'll kind of, you know, we'll try to, you know, sit down and figure out, you know, what may or not, I mean, maybe he, you know, if we have an idea of when that's happening or whatever, he could sit there and just kind of get a sense of what's going on with, you know, from our perspective, who's going through, who's not, and just kind of get a sense of, we do that a lot with cell phone stuff, you know, who's on a cell phone and basically just kind of, you know, count every car and yep, that car is on or not on this sign and just kind of see what compliance is. So as a traffic study kind of thing.
Okay.
So Jeff, do you want us to send the email to Doug, or do you want us to send it to you, or both of you guys?
Well, so if it's a traffic thing, it should
Yep.
go to
Mhm.
Doug, who can,
Doug, okay.
and, you know, so if we're asking to have an official kind of thing with the police department to do a traffic study, you know, a complaint of crosswalk compliance for cars.
Okay.
And then that would go through them and I follow up with them and kind of figure out what's going on with, and, you know, kind of keep you guys in the loop too.
All right.
What is
If you
his
want
last name again?
I'm sorry? Frank,
F-
F-R-I-N-K.
Yep.
And then the
Yeah.
D, so it'd be Frank with the letter D, and then at farmington-ct.org.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Doug's
Yeah.
a good guy.
Yeah, he's
Um,
very
I've
good.
still got,
Yeah.
for that,
Oh.
guys, I'd like to see it go through one person, if you don't mind. I don't want Doug to get bombarded with a bunch of stuff and, you know, I mean, if we agree as a committee, I can definitely add, I can copy the committee on the email, but I could email Doug and say, hey, Doug, we talked about the crosswalk of 177 and we'd like to see someone, you know, some potential, I don't want to say enforcement, but just something along that lines of it, looking at the crosswalk and just seeing if there's anything can be done. So do you guys want me to do that?
Yeah, I was hoping to spend the whole day with him and just check out.
Yeah, don't be doing that. Now, there is some,
You want to-
there is something that I would bring up, which is periodically this crops up. Like 4 or 5 years ago it did, and looks like it's going to crop up again. This issue of e-bikes on the trail, which, as we know, are allowed. Class 1 and 2 are allowed. But there's a lot of talk, particularly in Simsbury and Avon, apparently, and Granby as well, I hear, about some sort of speed limit. And my response to that is, I think it's a great idea because, of course, it would probably save some people from getting mowed down by some kid on a class 2 that's going 35. And then the other part of me says, but how the hell do you enforce it?
Yeah.
And so, and look, you know, I know that Farmington used to do the occasional patrol. I know that there's still bikes on the back of cruisers. But I mean, is that even realistic, Jeff?
Not at this point. I mean,
Okay.
we've struggled with just trying to, how do we enforce the 3-foot rule?
Yeah, I
you
know. I know.
And there was one police department that I ran into and I read the study and they actually had this whole radar system set up on the bike and whatever. And, but it's, you know, not really feasible and it was still kind of in a beta stage.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, it's kind of a signage. I mean, maybe you do you just kind of talk to people about, you know, the multi-use trails like that it's always been an issue because you'll have a walking group that it takes up the entire trail. And just, you know, you maybe have the joggers with the headphones. And so it's back and forth. And everybody believes that somebody went by them too fast when realistically they were just oblivious because of their headphones or whatever they're doing. And,
Yeah.
so it's.
Yeah. No,
It's-
it's an issue of trail.
It's a good thing to have because people are using the trail. But so
Yes.
then, you know, I think it comes down to, yeah, you have near misses or what are perceived as near misses, but what are we actually having for actual injuries and calls for you know, accidents? And to my knowledge, the only thing that we're getting is generally falls themselves, not caused by hitting anything or anything like that. It's just somebody that, for whatever reason, dumps their bicycle or, you know, and
Yeah.
that's the only thing that we've been having of late.
Yeah, no, that's my understanding too. I mean, you know, the Farmington Valley Trails Council, you know, still does get a lot of emails and calls about, you know, close encounters, right? But I just wanted you to know that, you know, there's a thought that may happen in one or two towns. If it does, obviously, I'll let the police department know that that's occurring. And, you know, they're talking about, you know, like, I think 15 miles an hour or 18 miles an hour. I mean, 18's a pretty good clip, you know.
Very good clip, yeah.
You know, 15, New Jersey, a whole bunch of New Jersey did 13 and a half.
Oh, for God's sake, how do you get anywhere?
Well, that's, you know, but don't forget on multi-use trails, not just on multi-use trails. So, but again, you know, if you're a cyclist, you know, and you're putzing around, you're doing 16, 17, you know?
Yeah,
So
I gotta say, I could do 22 on my mountain bike without any trouble.
oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But also, like Jeff said, condition wise, you have to look at the conditions and be polite and just, you know.
Well, ultimately, what this boils down to is this is really an etiquette issue.
Yeah.
You know, how do you teach etiquette? I think one of the reasons why this is cropping up again is because we have so many new adopters from COVID. You know, there's a whole 20, 30% new group of people that are using the trails that just don't know how to use them.
You're right.
I really think that's what it is. So yeah, okay. I just started to bring it up.
Yeah, but big learning curve. I mean, you look at the MDC
Yeah.
trails and what they've done
Yeah.
because of the amount of usage, and then Simsbury over by Iron Horse, you know,
Yeah.
for their fast bikes, because that little spot there gets used so much because of the park and and what they had there, that they, you know, they say if you're going a certain speed, that they've actually have the bike lane on the roadway alongside, and they want you to pop off over there and then pop back on after you go through what is a heavily congested area.
Yep. In fact, I was involved in those talks early on. Turns out that works out extraordinarily well.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's really, it's a great idea. I mean, the problem, of course, is there aren't a lot of places you can do that effectively.
I mean, that,
You know,
for what we're talking through for Farmington, if you're getting complaints, maybe you try to figure out, well, where is that? And then is that something that we could address in terms of making it a little wider in a certain area, or, you know what I mean, or signing it, or making a specific bike lane and keeping the walkers out of the bike area, and, you know, like MDC does. Those are all options.
yep.
We
Well,
also
one of
have, go ahead,
I'm
Bruce,
go
sorry.
ahead, Bruce. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, to kind of not wrap this, but to kind of highlight this, what we could do, last year, the spring newsletter will be out April, so we don't have a lot of time. And last year, I think I put crosswalk safety, and I think I did the 3 foot the 3 foot the pass rule.
Mhm.
We could either put that back in the newsletter again, or we can focus on, if you want, as you're saying, if you want to focus on the rules of the trail, you know, pass on the right, you know, ring a bell if you can, just keep your speed within, how do we want to call it, you know, manageable speed, you know, that kind of stuff. So if that's what you guys want, I can focus on something like that for the next newsletter.
I think that's a good idea. I do. I don't know how everyone else feels, but
Any thoughts, anybody else?
okay. I do think that, anytime we can, work on safety, we should be.
I can try to draft something up then and see what everybody's thoughts are.
So,
All right.
so I think the 3-foot rule is real important to keep pounding away to people, because I'm always surprised at how many people don't even know about that law. And, I talk to people all the time, and I talk to people all the time who have no idea that they can cross a double yellow line to give a cyclist 3 feet. And they don't understand, they don't know that either. So I think those are important to keep hammering home to motorists.
Well, I'd be
I don't-
willing,
go ahead.
I'd be willing to
Mhm.
bet that Jeff Glad could tell us that things like passing with due regard and care are probably not understood by most motorists.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's probably true.
Or right away. That's another one. It's not something you remember unless you just got out of driving school.
I see a
Yeah.
lot of surrounding towns with the 3 foot to pass. I think we should think about them in a few areas, like the flats.
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean, like, those lawn signs?
The signs?
Yeah,
We-
I see them in West Hartford. I see them
Yeah.
in,
We could get some signs printed. I mean,
Yeah.
we'd have to go through the town. The signing ordinance would go into effect in theory. But we could do that.
You
yeah.
want to do a
this came
lawn
up
sign,
at
or
the-
are you looking for the lawn sign, or are you looking for like one of these here?
Permanent signage, yeah.
Yeah, something like this, right, Ron? I think you can see the sign I have on there.
No, you're not coming up right now.
Oh, I'm not coming up. Why? Oh,
Just
I
a
don't know.
big S.
You're just a big ass Superman.
Oh, it kicked me out. You don't like that. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, but I'm thinking more not a lawn sign. I'm thinking more of a permanent sign, which is a traffic type sign.
Yeah, kind of like what you have out there for the useful lane, Ron. Is
Yeah,
that what you're
right.
talking about?
Something
Something
like
like that?
Okay, so you're talking about an MUTCD blank,
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay, I understand. I mean, that would be ideal because, of course, they last. That's the reason why you do that.
Well, I think it's a little bit of an education as well for drivers.
Oh,
All right,
well, yeah,
what's next on the agenda?
yeah. We got to keep moving here. Because I couldn't see the agenda. So
No, I know. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize it blanked out. I'm looking at the agenda and nobody said anything. I didn't realize it blanked out on me. Right here.
there we are.
Can you see that? There you go. So we did
Okay.
that. Now we're on the trails to signage. The
Right.
other thing I have on that is we're having trouble getting another estimate for it, but once we get that other estimate, then we can move this over to a purchase order, hopefully get this done.
Good. Good.
All right.
How big of a
Well-
headshot of me do you want for that sign, Bruce?
I'm thinking,
Gonna
One
have to
by
be a big
one?
sign.
will that work?
That was 50 pounds ago. Okay.
Water
I did-
fountain.
I
Go
did
ahead.
talk to
Go ahead, Matt.
Jamie Stone about the rides to school. And he basically said he just needs to know when and where they're going to happen, and he should be able to get us some officers. I'm not sure about Saturdays, Ron, because normally they got more bodies in the PD during the week. Is that right, Jeff?
Yeah, when school's in session, we have all school guys, which is an extra like 3 to 4 guys that
Yeah.
they would normally pull from the different schools for whatever project's going on. So yeah, they would, they can move them around a little bit, but it's a hassle.
Oh, yeah. And if it's a no, then it's a no. So, yep.
Oh, let me ask you guys a question. Who did you want me to send the letters and stuff to from CCAP for the winding trails thing from Frozen 4? Is there a certain person those letters should go to talking about the support they've gotten from the town and how, how we've been able to manage events.
Oh, for the
Yeah,
bike
I guess
friendly
for the bike, yeah. Yeah,
status.
the certification.
Yes.
I guess you can send those to Bruce here, no?
Well, yeah, if you want to send them to me, or you guys are on the sub committee, do you want them to put into a package? Because aren't you guys on
Yeah.
Yeah,
the subcommittee for that? I think I
Yeah, we
definitely,
are.
you guys hold everything and then we'll just put it together as a package, you know?
Okay.
All right, so I'll just make a file and when you guys are ready for it.
Yeah.
yes.
I'll
Okay.
come over and when I pick up my wheel, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, the wheel and the saddle have been in my living room for 6 months now.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good point.
Ouch. Okay, gotcha.
Uh, anything on the water fountain?
Water fountains, I have a few other vendors that we are working with now. So, because that
Okay.
price came back, like you said, once we went into a frost free, I think I was up to like $8,000 for that thing. I went, and then Russ goes, no, let's get some other prices. So I'm looking around still.
Yeah, I thought what you were quoting seemed really low to me. That's why I asked.
Well, that was what they had. And then all of a sudden when I talked to them, oh no, you got to add this. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No,
So-
it didn't seem right to me. So I'm glad you're checking into it. Good.
Yep.
Complete streets.
Yeah, we're getting that over to TPZ. That's still in progress. All right.
And as always, let me know if you need me. I'm happy
Yep.
to.
I think I sent that to you and you looked at it and you were fine. You said, right?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
I mean, there's more detail you could do. I mean, Hartford did 5 more pages than yours.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that
Yeah.
5 more pages doesn't add much.
Mhm.
You know?
All
So I think it's fine.
Okay.
Sidewalks.
That was just CJ studying gaps and finding grants. So I think that's all with the council.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me see, meeting schedule, we're sticking to the meeting schedule.
Mhm.
So we'd be
Next meeting is the
4/13.
13th. Yep.
Yep, okay,
Why am I thinking that's
fourth, yeah, that's
And
right.
Jeff, I apologize. I didn't realize I don't have you on the Zoom, so I will add you on those Zoom links. All right.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Porta potties.
He did not
I'll have
put
to-
my name on there.
For what?
Business sponsor. That was,
I'll
thought
bring
that was
back
a
and spend
joke.
around this. So, we got those, we'll have to work with the next vendor, get those things ordered for May, and we get them out there at right at Memorial Day.
Actually, I will tell you, you shouldn't laugh too hard, too soon. The Bolton
I saw that.
Bolton Trails
Bolton.
Council has a sign on their porta potty.
Yep.
Can't remember what organization it was, but they got somebody to sponsor their porta potty.
They sure did. I saw that a couple of years ago. So cool.
So you can do it.
Yeah. Come up with a price.
Let's see, LAB. Other than going
LAB,
through it,
what's
we
that?
still haven't
Oh,
actually met,
yeah.
and we probably really need
We
to,
have
Ron.
not. We really do.
Now, just so you're aware, not next week, but the week after, I'm gone all week in North Carolina. And then I'm back basically for the duration. So let's think first week of April. And just set a
Okay.
date, so we actually do it.
Okay.
Because we do need to go through it. We need to see, the real issue is there's a lot of good stuff in there, but there's more we can do, and we have to set our sights on getting all of it together.
Yes. Okay.
Connectivity. Anything new there? That was,
Oh, you know what I found out during the West District meeting is I think you're not allowed to ride your bike on that path, is what I was told.
the
It's a walking path,
Walnut
one-
Farms?
the very steep one behind West District. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know.
that's what the
I don't know.
principal and the teachers in there thought that was the
Oh, yeah?
case. But yeah.
Kind of
Anyway,
odd.
I
Alright.
I wonder who would be the arbiter of that. I guess that's really what my question is. Who would, who
I think
would
it's on
say
school
yes?
property, right? It's on school property, so I think it's gonna be school, probably.
Well, certainly the slope down, that's all the school, right?
Yeah,
Good question.
I don't know who even at. I don't know where to start with that. I can check around. I'll see what I can find.
okay.
I don't know
Well-
anything.
Superintendent's office? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know
I
who
don't believe-
maintains it. I think the highway man. I'll probably start with the highway or Russ and see. Because I think that we may maintain it. So I'll take a look. I'll see what I can find.
Good. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Midway, the Midway development, the Big Bird Bridge, the actual lowering of the trail between the Big Bird Bridge and the Farmington River Bridge, that got approved Monday night. So it reached
Whoa.
it met its final approval. So they have to go to the state next for the traffic permit. It's an OSTA permit, what they call it. It's a traffic commission because they're putting it has to do with the square footage of commercial as well as the number of parking spaces. So once they get that through the state, they will then pretty much be meeting with us to get started on the project. So they were talking about possibly having that be one of the first parts of the project. The only thing we'll probably do is we may not want it done too early because we're looking to close down the bike trail to
Well,
do the
yeah,
work because
I was gonna say,
So-
I mean, you're gonna have to close it. Well, actually, where are you gonna close it? That's.
Oh, I think we
probably-
could just put a sign. I wouldn't get too crazy. We could put a sign at the Brickyard Road parking lot saying, trail closed at Route 4 bridge. So people can walk down, turn around and come back, and then just do the same thing on the, do the same thing on the, Red Oak side. But they're probably
Okay, so-
they're talking about 2 months possibly from actually start to finish.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't
So-
surprise
so
me
we'll
at
figure
all.
something out.
2
Yeah.
months, yeah, I mean, so, if we have to do some rerouting signage, perhaps,
Detour.
Yeah.
so let's think about that.
When you guys
Also-
talk about that project, is that going to be something where they can still get across the river or not?
Yeah, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come off the Big Bird Bridge, come down at 5% max. You're gonna level out in a low spot where you can dump off to either the ball fields or through this midpoint development project, which will take you along the river, and then you'll come back up at 5% back up to the river bridge.
Okay, so basically it's an exit.
Yeah,
It's like
It's
an
like
exit
an
ramp.
exit.
Oh,
But
okay.
actually the whole trail will be brought down. It's not going to be just a little spur. The whole thing is going to come down. So
Really?
yeah, and that's actually, when you think about it, that's a hell of a excavation. That's
it turns the bicycle path into a more of a transportation, a mode of transportation, because a lot of kids from the Highlands use that to get down to the ball fields, and the same on the other side of the river. So as it is now, there really is no official way to get off of there. People walk down the side of the slope. People
Yeah.
can get hurt doing that. So this does add a big element to it. And then with the midpoint development, there'll be a public trail that goes through there. So you'll be able to go run along the river as well. So it is a very good project. Everyone is very excited about that, so we can't wait to get that started.
Is there any
And,
place you can look at it, Bruce, where there's a picture or ideas or anything like that?
Yeah, I had sent some plans. I could actually send out a plan again.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool,
for
just so that I could forward it to some of the
Yeah.
cycling folks.
They're
Yeah,
looking
no.
for, to be honest with you, there's a bike shop at the base of the mountain or at the base of the hill. That's a small little shed they're going to have. The guy's going to put a little old-fashioned gas station air pump there. So whoever wants to put their, anyone wants to go to put their pump, fill it up. The only thing that they're actually questioning is if they can get someone to actually lease out that for a bike shop. So if you're interested or you know anybody that would be interested, let me know. I can put them in touch with the actual developer. So
What does that entail?
I don't know. That's between you. It's a private entity. It's between you and the developer. So he's got a little building back there, a proposed building. It's pretty cool. It's got like a little shade covering and the way they had designed it. So that's between the company and the business owner. So that's what they were saying is they were trying to get them mandate to put a bike shop. The guy goes, I'd like to, but if nobody comes to us or nobody wants to open a bike shop, then I can't really make somebody do.
When you say bike
do that.
shop, do you mean like what's in the Collinsville section where it's that stand and a few
It could
tools and a
be-
pump?
It could be whatever you want. I mean,
He's
you
talking
could have
about a
a bike.
business.
Yeah, you could have a bike shop in there where you sell bikes and you fix bikes, or you could do a small little, or you can do something even smaller than that. But I think the intention is where somebody sells bikes, fix bikes, and when someone like comes off the trail and they want to take a break or get some air in their tire while they're there, they see a brand new Trex bike and they're interested in that, and you can talk, somebody can explain to them, sell them a bike like that. So that's kind of where they're going with it. And again, it's brand new, so it's going to evolve over the years. They're probably not going to be ready for that maybe till the end of the year, or beginning of next year. But it'd be a great time to get into some kind of talk, or discussions. Like I said, there's going to be a bike shop. There's going to be a brew pub down there. There's going to be possibly some other coffee or a little quick service like a pastry shop in there. So it's going to be probably like a Collinsville where like you can jump off there, grab a beer and a burger, and then just head back home. So
Matt, I see smoke coming out of your ear.
No, I'm like, I never heard anything about this. So, and yeah, it sounds like a great idea, but yeah, go for it.
So.
Hmm.
All right.
Hey, Bruce, real quick. I found the map for the trails behind West District School. I'll link
Okay.
them in the chat for everyone to look at.
Behind West District. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Dylan, does it show ownership?
It specifically says that that the paths are bike paths.
Huh, okay. Interesting.
And what map is that? Are you talking about?
I found it on the town website.
All right. Yeah, I'm off the town laptop is down in IT right now being fixed. So all I have is my iPad. I can't really link into my files at the office. So
Yeah, so this map is from 2016.
all right.
All right,
Perfect.
That's pretty new. Okay. Thank you. Let's see, FETC cleanup day.
All right. So I had a meeting with the outgoing and incoming Kate and Stacy from Green Efforts
Green
Committee.
efforts.
So we are most certainly going to be joining them. It
Awesome.
could be a permanent gig now. We are also going to be giving the Trails Council, we'll be using their logo as well, presented by them as well, because it's going to go through their distribution list, which is massive. So the plan is to be at, we're gonna start, our starting point, or where we're gonna be set up is Tungus Mead with Green Efforts. BFF will have a tent there. It does run longer than I thought, so it runs from 8 to 1. So I'll be showing up at 7:30. The date is the 23rd of April.
Mhm.
So the Green Efforts we're gonna try to make it so if you show up for BFF and the Trails Council, that you'll get directed to the trails or along the river to clean up. I don't know if any of you have ever done their cleanup. I've done it in the past. They actually have contests as far as who collects the most weight-wise. And they asked if we, BFF tries to get a prize. So I'm gonna look into that. You can sign up through Genius something or
Sign up
just
to Genius,
show
yeah.
up. I know that Laura and the Trails Council was gonna be a presence there. Hoping to get the mayor of Farmington there, if anyone knows him. Let's see, am I missing anything? BFF or whatever we're gonna, Bike Walk Farmington will be handing out materials and talking to people and trying to, it'll be a good recruiting day for us to try to bring walkers, pedestrians into our group. So the timing's actually perfect. They've been wanting to do this with us for years. So they're really happy with this change of events of each town doing their own.
Yeah, I think it's good. You know, the Farmington Valley Trails Council did, I think the last time they did it before COVID, it was 8 towns. And it was
Yeah.
actually getting a little unwieldy, to be perfectly honest. And I think that's why they wanted to do this. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yep. So that's a go. And they'll be sending out a flyer. Bruce, I'll also grab their flyer. I know you had sent something out, but when they're done with it, I'll forward it.
Bruce Sear, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I had posted something in the newsletter. That was our save the date. It goes in newsletter for save the date, and then the next newsletter will actually have the date with a little more information in it.
Okay. So that's about it for that.
Okay, good. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Unfortunately, you know, I think I went to every one for like 10 years. I'm actually out of town this year. I'm sorry.
Oh, you were on my volunteer list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I know.
That's-
I'm on everyone's,
You can
I'm on
get-
everyone's volunteer list. You kidding
I'll
me?
have to grab the next Bruce in line.
Oh, man. All right, I'm gonna try to move this along here because it's 8:16. Murals, that's CJ. I don't know. Do we know anything more about that?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I didn't go through that yet. So,
Which?
liability for BFF and board for rides.
Oh, for rides. Okay, I thought for some reason I thought it was like D&O insurance, but municipality doesn't need that.
Oh, there is something else that we got kind of, so, bike, walk, I don't know who it is starting a ride from, New Britain, Farmington, through Avon. And they're trying to pull us all together. We haven't had the meeting yet, but I did commit to it. Of course I did. Laura is gonna help me map it out through Farmington. So it's gonna be a 3-town, I think it's Bike Walk Connecticut, and I forget what it's celebrating. I think I forwarded the email about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
you did.
So I'll have to reread it to see what I got myself into, but we're in that, and it sounds like a pretty good event. It's on the it's on May I don't know, May 14th.
You know, Ron, it might be the Bike Walk New Britain guys.
Well, they were invited into it, but it didn't originate from them.
Oh, it didn't. Okay, all right.
No.
I
In
think I
fact-
only skimmed that email. I'm sorry. I don't really
In fact,
remember.
if it's bike, whoever's doing it is taking care of everything else, paperwork and whatever. We're just mapping it out and bringing the people out, I guess.
Okay, all right.
We were supposed to
wouldn't-
have a meeting and we didn't. That's why I don't know anything about it. So I will go through, when I have the details, Jeff, I will let FPD know as well.
The only other thing I know of in terms of events, we are going to have Ride the State again, June 25th. So that's New Haven to Southwick. We do it every year, same date. We had about 115 last year. So I would assume we'll have something similar. And it's essentially, we stop for lunch either in Avon or Simsbury. And it's essentially a metric century. It's like 60 miles to Southwick.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, that metric century. Is that one way?
It's one way with buses back to New Haven.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done it that way for a long time. An awful lot of people start somewhere north of New Haven and then go back, or there's all sorts of different ways to do that ride. And a few people, ride down and then go up and stay up, or vice versa. So actually, we usually only get one 55-person coach bus, and we usually fill that, and everyone else seems to be able to deal with whatever they're doing. So is that it, Bruce?
That's it for me. I'm done.
Okay.
I mean, the agenda's done. If anyone else has anything they want to add?
I'm good.
I've got my little things I got to take care of here, so I'll send out some stuff.
Okay. Any other comment? All right. Oh,
Farmington-
oh,
Farmington
spoke-
Canal Ride. Okay, that's all I know. So forget it.
yeah, I just don't remember who the ultimate
Oh, the Connecticut River Conservant.
Conservancy.
Thank you.
Oh, those guys. All
Yeah,
right.
May 21st, in coordination with World Fish Migration Day. What did I say yes to? That's what we're doing.
Okay, I know one of the other partners is Farmington River Watershed
Oh, okay.
is also
Ron,
involved in
Ron,
that.
this will be easy. It's fish migration, so you have to swim upstream and ride home.
There you go. Actually, you have to swim
All right.
upstream and spawn and then ride home.
I don't want to hear any of that.
Mary Cockram
Cockrum, yeah, she
from
She
Frog
is-
Hollow Consulting.
Yeah, so she is not director, I don't know, whoever the hell's running Bike Walk Connecticut right now. They don't have an
Oh,
executive.
Mary.
Yeah, That Mary. Yeah, that's who that is.
Oh, I just said Mary. Yeah, Mary.
Yeah,
All right. I'm tired.
me too. All right.
Okay, we good?
On that note, let's leave.
I'm good.
All
All
right,
right,
see you
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
Take
Recorded?
care.
Take
Okay.
care.
Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone.
You too.